Welcome everybody to Huddle Up with Bukich Bueno. This is our third fan feature. And no, unfortunately, today is not the episode where we banter about the AFC South, though the jerseys in the background might look like it. Bryden Bukich, big Major League Baseball fan, is here to talk to us about the World Series. Bryden, I'm really excited for you to talk about the World Series today. What does it mean for baseball fans during this time of the year?
Okay, first of all, just want to say that Ryan Tannehill is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. But yes,
this fantasy or actual skill?
Everything, actual sport, relevant, whatever you want to call it. Ryan Tannehill is a top 5 quarterback.
Stephen A, are you listening to this? Skip Bayless, are you listening to this?
Hey, it was a great honor. It was actually Stephen A. Smith's top 5 list. He voted us number 1 team in the entire NFL. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, we're talking about baseball here today. Obviously, every single year, it's when you're a Blue Jays fan, you're usually watching the screen, not watching the Blue Jays on television. Unfortunately, having to watch Jared and Courtney Gabriel's Tampa Bay Rays right now in the World Series. But I'm very happy for them, especially being a small market team and everything, and then going up against probably the juggernaut of payroll in baseball. So the Rays, small market team versus the big market team in LA. It's been intriguing. It's 1-0 Dodgers right now, but the Rays got I believe a 6-3 lead. I was just watching earlier, so yeah,
it's a really exciting, when one team whose most exciting feature is the fact that they're named after a company that makes juice versus a team that has, one of the most famous lores in the history of baseball. But we're talking World Series, and we're talking, what is the greatest World Series that you have witnessed in your lifetime as a baseball fan?
There's been a lot of great World Series, but probably the best one, going to go back 2011, got the St. Louis Cardinals going off against the Texas Rangers. Texas had just lost the year before to San Francisco. They're in game 6 in St. Louis, and they're up 3-2. It's bottom of the 9th inning. David Freese is up to bat. Texas is up by 2. There's 2 strikes on Freese. Freese hits it in the air to right, goes off the wall, gets a 2-run triple. So this now it's tied. We go to extras now. We're now in the 11th inning. And Texas had scored a couple more runs in extra innings, and then someone else got some hits, I think, in the 10th or even the 11th as well, and they tied it up again. So then Freese is up tied with, I think it was, I forget the score, but it was tied in the 11th inning. And David Freese hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night. Sure enough, then Texas goes to game 7, and they lose game 7. And, being a Blue Jays fan too, Texas has liked to choke quite a bit. They choked against us back-to-back years in 2015 and 16 when we played them in the ALDS too. So I feel a little sorry for Rangers fans, but that was probably my favorite World Series.
I honestly think that has to be, one of the most iconic calls in a World Series ever in the history of baseball. And there's been a lot of great ones from earlier eras, but especially in the more recent times, Joe Buck's call of David Freese's, walk-off home run in extra innings will always live forever in the minds of baseball fans, whether they like it or not. But it's always so exciting because baseball is the sport that's had the longest amount of, championship years in existence for the world's in terms of the World Series. And there's been tons of history that's happened recently with teams that have made droughts fall. And, the Dodgers are up on a drought right now, haven't won since 1988. The Cubs broke the 108 years in 2016 against the Indians, who also hadn't won the World Series in 70 years or so. So it's really exciting time to be a baseball fan, especially with, the David versus Goliath matchup that we see with the Tampa Bay Rays playing the Los Angeles Dodgers. But, I'm really excited for a good series. And I think that it's going to be closer than people think because, the Rays, they got the first seed in their conference for a very good reason, right? They're a good team despite their small payroll. And the Dodgers obviously have lost, they've lost 3 World Series and, they're at their They've lost 2, I think. And then now they're at their third in 4 years. So they're looking to pay a little, get a little bit of payback on their misfortunes in the big game in October. So with that, we're signing off from our fan feature today. Bryden, thanks for joining us to talk baseball. You got any last words for all the fans out there besides something that's going to get us on First Take tomorrow?
Hey, just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of the best sports podcast in the city.
I really appreciate that, Bryden. And thank you everyone for listening to our fan feature number 3 with MLB fan Bryden Bukich.